What's going on, everybody? Episode 11 of the Casual Millennials podcast. Your host, or one of your hosts, Andrew Jakubicz on the microphone, joined, as always, by Eric Hess, my lovely co-host. How's it going, Eric?
Great. Excited for a beautiful podcast and a lovely beer.
And our guest has a lovely PBR.
Yeah, I'm a basic. Can you swear in here?
Yeah,
I'm a basic bitch. Actually, all I drink is like rum, bourbon, whiskey. So like, I'm not a huge
ball.
I'm not a huge beer drinker, so I was just like, oh, PBR, that's what they drink on, Water Street and North Ave, so I guess that's what I'll have.
Love it. That works. So Mark Moore is our guest drinking a PBR. So for the people who don't know who you are, or maybe that are but don't know everything about you, give us a couple minutes spiel on where you started and where you're at now.
Yeah. My name is Mark Moore. I am currently the content developer for Koss Headphones. If you don't know who Koss Headphones is, we invented the stereo headphone here in Milwaukee, which is super dope. So I make all of our commercials, shoot all our photography, all of our interviews, blogs, our ambassador program, some website UX, UI stuff, anything that involves content. And then before that, I did some videos for On Milwaukee, which is like a local news organization. I have my YouTube channel that I still currently do where I vlog. I used to vlog every day, but don't really have the time for that anymore. I have a radio show on 620 WTMJ. Used to be a magician, all kinds of stuff. I worked on cars for 20 years, and then in 2017, I kind of axed that part of my life and got my job at Koss doing what I love, which is photography, video, content creation. And so it's a kind of a crazy story that apparently people find interesting of how kind of I got to where I am today from where I was. So that's my elevator.
Yeah, that's a great
my elevator spiel. We can dive deeper into it if you want. Whatever you want to ask me. My life is an open book.
I want to dive into that first, though. Yeah. Koss, with all you're doing there, are you the only person that does all that? Like, do you have a team?
We have a team of people who I kind of like look to and kind of get their advice and inspiration and stuff from, and then kind of look over my stuff and say, yeah, this is cool, this is what I would do, but I'm really the only person that shoots the photos, that makes and cuts the videos. I do all of our voiceovers, so I'm really like a one-man show when it comes to that. But we do have a team of 4 or 5 other people that kind of like oversee what I do too, just so we have a couple more eyes and ears on the content that I create, so make sure that I stay on brand with Koss.
Yeah, that's always important.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
That we've already gotten in trouble for some of the guests we've had on.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that's what I do, and I've been there since May of 2017. So I've been doing it for like 2.5 years, and it's even just that short time that I've been doing it, I've learned so much. I look back to my old photos, my old commercials and videos I made, and they're just, in my opinion, they're not good. And I've learned so much just since then. So it's really cool to get to do what I love for a company that I love, especially in a city that I love. So
that is
I'm very, very blessed and fortunate that I get to do that.
How did you learn what you've learned?
YouTube.
It's all YouTube?
All YouTube. It kind of sucks because like nowadays, this is the millennial Casual Millennial podcast. Nowadays, millennials, I didn't grow up with, I'm holding up a smartphone, the listeners can't see this, but
an iPhone.
Yeah, I didn't have this when I grew up. So kids today, millennials today, they have literally a tool in their pocket where they can shoot, cut, edit videos, photos, they can blog on it. You can literally make a living off of this device in your pocket. Mm-hmm. And I would have been a whole hell of a lot farther along had I had that when I was in my 20s or when I graduated high school. I definitely would have started working on cars. And so it's really cool the opportunities that exist with social media, with smartphones, with technology that just didn't exist 10 years ago. Even think about like esports and gaming. You got kids in high school that are making millions of dollars playing video games. And so it's fascinating to me seeing how technology has kind of shaped the workforce and what's considered a career.
Yeah.
Just nowadays compared to before iPhones and Androids and stuff, so.
Well, not only that, but that's not limited to age. Like, it's not only millennials that can really take advantage of that.
Well, exactly. You could be 67 years old. You could have an Etsy store. You could decide you want to start your own YouTube ventriloquist channel. Like, it's the sky is the limit. There's a myriad of possibilities. And so I think it's just an awesome time to be alive to have this. I shoot all of our Koss commercials on this iPhone. Yeah. And that's the reaction that I get from people. People are like, are you serious? Except for the people that I tell that to, and then I was like, I can totally tell that was shot on an iPhone. I'm just like, F you, man. No, you can't.
No, you wouldn't. You should have said something else.
Right.
Get a different response. But let's jump back if you're okay with that, Eric. Your career change, right?
Yes.
You hinted to it, you brought it up, because that was part of the reason why we had this idea of like talking to people who are successful, maybe made a change drastically, maybe less drastically, but this is a different like 180 in career change.
Dichotomy would be the word I would use.
Okay.
It could not be more different.
So let's talk about, so how do you get to your car's 20 years, you're
so
you're renting on cars.
Basically, I got suckered into cars when I was a freshman in high school. So like, when you start your freshman year of high school and like you get one or two like classes that you get to choose what you want to do. And one of them, I wanted to be a carpenter. My dad used to he would build everything, bookshelves and magic tricks for like magicians and stuff like that. And he built everything. And so that's kind of what I want to do. I want to be a carpenter like my dad. And so I took what I thought was like a Woods, in air quotes, 101 class my freshman year of high school. And then I got to the second quarter, because there's like a quarter, there's 4 quarters and 2 semesters,
Yeah.
So I get to the second quarter, which you wouldn't think the class would change, and I walk in and it's a totally different class. I'm like, where the hell is everybody? And they're like, oh, well, they're in the autos class. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, well, this semester it's split. It's 1 quarter's autos, 1 quarter's woods class. To kind of like see what you want to do. And I was like, oh man, well, I don't know anything about cars.
Yeah.
So I go into the autos class. And I liked it. I was really good at it. Took the next one. I took every autos class. I helped win a car my senior year for our high school that I went to. And I think my freshman year I got a job at Jiffy Lube in 1997 changing oil. And that was like my first job working on cars. And it was neat. I became a manager when I was like 18. Then they got bought out. I got a job at a Honda dealership in 2004, I think. No, 1999. Then switched to another Honda dealership in like 2004. But I worked on Hondas for like 16 or 17 years as a master Honda mechanic. Say that 10 times fast. Rebuilding engines, changing oil, tires, electrical problems, like the whole spiel. And I was good at it. I made really good money. I had dropped out of college when I graduated from high school. I went for what was then Internet Media Arts, in air quotes. It was basically like graphic design and like content creation and web design and stuff, but like when the internet was kind of in its infancy.
Yeah, they were just trying stuff out.
Yeah, and I quickly realized, for me personally, what bullshit college was, because I literally was taking like 1 course for what I wanted to go for, and because I was never really a good student, I had to take like Introduction to College Algebra and all these other stupid classes to fill my curriculum or whatever. And after a semester, I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm already making more money than my friends that have graduated from college, and I was like, I'm just going to do the car thing because it was great. And I did that all the way up until 2017. But it was like 2008, 9, 10 when I got into photography, and my car career started going downhill, and then my photography and video career started going up.
Intentionally or just
unintentionally?
Okay.
So in 2008, I had been with my current wife, my only wife. My wife was my girlfriend at the time. We had been together for a year. We decided to go on a trip together, so we went to Las Vegas. And I'd been to Michigan, and then I like flew to Portland, Oregon once to pick up like a souped up Volkswagen with my friend, and then we drove it back. I'd flown once. I'd literally never been anywhere else. And so she's like, "Where do you want to go?" I was like, "I want to go to Las Vegas. I'm young. Let's do it."
Yeah.
So I got this little crappy Kodak point and shoot camera that was like 4.5 megapixel. And as soon as we were up in the air, I started taking pictures, started taking video. I was like talking to it for whatever reason. I don't know why you would do that back then, but I was talking to it. And when we got back, I had all these cool photos, all these videos, and so I made this little vacation video. And then I would continue to make vacation videos for every trip we would go on. And that was kind of like my introduction to documenting my life and recording everything that I did.
So that was like 2007-ish when you started doing that?
2008 is when I started doing like video. I feel like I started doing video before I really got into photos, but I know I got into photos before I got into video, because it was only a year later I shot my first wedding, and then I shot another wedding, and then I was doing maternity shoots, pictures of kids, portraits, senior pictures. That ultimately got me some commercial work, which is what I really want to do. I want to be a commercial photographer for products and stuff for companies. I never wanted to shoot like weddings. But it was like around 2015 when my photography, like I had no jobs booked. I didn't have a wedding, I didn't have a commercial shoot booked. And I was like in this creative rut. And I was like, well, like I need to do something creative where I'm like kill myself. That's
And you're still.
And I'm still working on
Still
cars.
working on
Yeah.
cars,
And at that time, I was just shooting like a wedding a month.
Okay, so more of a side hustle.
Yeah, it was a side hustle. And it wasn't until like 2015 where I didn't have any shoots that year where I was like, well, I need to do something creative. And so for whatever reason, I went on YouTube to look up like local vloggers because like vlogging was starting to get popular. I had already been making these vacation videos that I had put up on YouTube, but that's right when their algorithm that sniffed out music came out, and I got my whole account shut down because I had like 30-something violations. Cause I had like, I think I had maybe 12, 13 videos on there. It was all like Owl City and Katy Perry and all this shit, and so like it got shut down.
Throwbacks, right?
Yeah. And so I went on YouTube, looked to see if there's any vloggers in Milwaukee, and there's literally like nobody. There was like a beauty vlogger, and then there was some kid in college that talked to his iMac, but there was nobody meandering around the city, kind of sharing their experience. And so I was like, all right, fuck it. I guess maybe I'll make a YouTube video. So I grabbed my iPhone at the time. I don't remember what it was, like whatever the iPhone was in 15, 6S or something.
What was that?
5, maybe.
Probably 6.
Yeah. I went downtown to Bradford Beach, and it's a horrible vlog. Don't ever watch it. But I like went around and asked people, like, "What do you like about Milwaukee?" And everyone was like, "Beer." And I was like, "Okay." And like people saw it and they thought it was cool. So I made another one and another one and another one, and I did it every single day. I made a video for like 89 days in a row, and it only took about 2 weeks before like companies started noticing, and I was making vlogs for like Milwaukee Kayak, the Safe House, MK Boat Line, the Milwaukee Hyatt, Hometown Yogis, MK Float, Milwaukee Home. Literally every company in the city was inviting me to check out the company, try their excursion, taste their food, look at their restaurant, and I slowly started making a name for myself. All while I was documenting my traveling, my own personal experiences, shooting in the city, and that was really the catalyst for everything that I do now. Me being Martin Moore, in air quotes, is like a brand. How On Milwaukee found me. That they found me through my YouTube videos. Koss found me through On Milwaukee, and so my YouTube channel is really the catalyst for everything that I kind of do now. And luckily, like that kind of intersected with my car career going downhill. Because remember, so this was a typical day of mine. Can I take 2 minutes and get into a typical day of mine?
Let's hear it.
So for probably 4 years, even though I vlogged every day for only 89 days in a row, after I stopped daily vlogging, I still was making like 3, 4, 5 videos a week. But basically in a nutshell, I would wake up at 5 a.m., shower, bolt downtown, film the beginning of my vlog, go at 7 a.m., be at the Honda dealership, switch into my dirty ass work clothes, work till noon, skip my lunch break, in my car, switch back into my regular street clothes, drive downtown, film the middle of my vlog, whether it was yapping to the camera, meandering around the city, going to the Safe House and like exploring the restaurant, get back to work by 1, change into my work clothes, work till 5, change back into my street clothes, film the end of the vlog at like 7 p.m. downtown, race home, edit till 2 in the morning, upload, go to bed, wake up at 5 a.m., repeat. And I would do that every single day. And on top of that, shoot weddings, edit the weddings, do commercial shoots, networking events, podcasts, meetings, like all that shit on top of the 50-hour-a-week job. It was just like non-stop work.
Dwayne Johnson got nothing on you.
And it was, I could never do it again. I feel like I'm doing it right now. Like this summer has been unusually crazy, but it was an unfathomable amount of work, and I don't know how I was able to do it. I almost got divorced because of it. So like when we were on vacation, like my wife would like want to go to the room and like just chill, take a nap. I'd edit the vlog. She would go to bed alone because I'd do filming or editing, and she'd wake up and she'd be alone because I was filming. Yeah. So it was a ton of work, but it got me to where I am today. So.
That's true. Do you mind if I jump in with a question? Oh, 100%. Okay, so let's. I want to start with a couple things. I have a lot of questions, but one thing that really intrigued me is you talk about your working your car career outside of the day in the life of, right? And you're slowly getting your photography career going. What were you doing to drive your network to get those shoots, those wedding shoots, get those, product shoots? Maybe. What was
it was
something
all word of mouth.
Is that so? I
had no marketing budget or anything.
Yeah.
It was literally, I shot a wedding, my first wedding I ever shot was in Mexico.
Nice.
And like
a Mexican family, or?
No, it was, a friend actually was getting married down there.
Nice.
And like people saw it, and then someone else was like, "Hey, my friend's getting married. Will you shoot my wedding? I love those pictures." And then like it just snowballed.
Sure.
I don't know how I got, or even what my first commercial shoot was. It may have been for a candy company called Sweet Trio out of Grafton, and I may have gotten that through a friend or maybe a family member who recommended me. It was just all recommendations. I had a website, but no one visited it per the Google Analytics. So it was just all word of mouth. And
Sure.
same thing with my vlogs. Like, every vlog that I made, whether it was for the art museum or for the Hyatt, like when they reopened View, that circulated thing,
Yeah.
people always think, well, what do you say when you reach out to these companies to like make the videos? And I'm like, they found me and came to me. And so I blame all that on me unintentionally, in air quotes, personally branding myself, and people just not wanting me because my photos are good or my videos are dope, but because they wanted Martin Moore. Like, I'm not the best photographer in the world. I don't make the best videos in the world, but people want me anyways because they want Martin Moore, because they associate me with, I don't know, Milwaukee and good work, I guess, apparently. And so
You say unintentionally, but you just told me that you would spend every waking moment working toward that. So did you know you were really working towards it?
I wasn't.
Did you know you were doing something that
I wasn't working for. As much as I wanted the end game, as much as I wanted to do what I loved for a living, that wasn't really what was like driving me. I wasn't like a dog chasing a car that I was never going to catch, or I wasn't chasing like a carrot on a stick on a pole that was attached to my back. Like, I really truly enjoyed documenting my life. I enjoyed shooting. I enjoyed the process of creating and doing, and I would have done that regardless. For I don't know how long. I would have done that regardless had I gotten a job at Milwaukee, or gotten a job at Koss, or gotten a job doing it full time. I would have done it regardless. So yeah, it would have been cool to get a job and quit cars and do what I love for a living and get paid to do it. Yeah, that's kind of what I was chasing, but ultimately the process of creating all that stuff and enjoying it for myself, that's really what drove me. That's really what fulfilled me. Because I've always been two things. I've been an entertainer and a creator. I was a magician when I started doing magic when I was 7 years old, and not like your shitty uncle's magic at Thanksgiving, like floating people, cutting people in half. I played music for 10 or 15 years in bands. I have my YouTube channel, so I've always been entertaining people. I've always been creating. So like that's what I live for. That's what completes me. So yeah, to answer the question, yeah, I was chasing a career, but that wasn't the ultimate goal. It was kind of just to do what I love in any fashion that I could, so that I felt satisfied and complete.
Sure.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, so that makes you for it. So the goal wasn't the goal was to do the work itself. It wasn't to get anything out of it. And I think that's something that like a lot of people mistake.
Oh, for sure.
You start doing something and you think like you start a company and you're like, my goal is to get an exit and make a lot of money.
Oh yeah, by Q4 I want to make 6 figures.
Exactly.
By in 2 years I want to have this many employees, and it's like I always say anybody can do anything for 6 months or a year.
Yep.
But you have to be okay with the fact that you may never reach your goal. And you're never going to reach your goal. Entrepreneurship, chasing your dreams is like fucking gambling. It's never going to be enough. No matter what achievement you reach, at best you'll relish in it for 30 seconds, and then you're already on to, well, what's the next thing? It's like pulling a slot machine lever. And so there's people that are chasing the payout, and then there's people that just enjoy pulling the lever, and I'm the latter of the two.
Sure.
And the people that are chasing the payout, to me, those are the people that are going to burn out and die, and those are the people that people like me gobble up along the way.
Right. Or just outran.
That sounded pretentious.
Sound clip it.
That's content. No.
Oh man, Eric, you got something? Otherwise, I got more I could ask. But
Keep going. I got
okay.
Now, these are, by the way, these are outstanding questions.
Well, we're only 20 minutes in, so we can easily ruin this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've really been focusing on in my own life, as I take up more hobbies and I do more entrepreneurial things, because I host another podcast and I'm starting jiu-jitsu, meeting here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we're going to start a class at 7 tonight. I'm 3 weeks in. I've already injured both my big toes, and my back hurts like a motherfucker.
So it's going well.
Yeah, I got choked out 8 times last time. But time management has been one of the biggest things, because I work a 9-to-5 job. I'm trying to do 2 podcasts, go to jiu-jitsu as many nights, and I teach 1 night a week at a college.
And do a podcast.
So what was one of the things that you were finally figured out maybe as you were doing the double life, as I say, between vlogging and working full time? You even said it first straight on your marriage. So what was kind of the end result of you managing your time better and give time to your wife as well as your career as well as everything else?
I did. I mean,
But you stayed with it.
Yeah, I mean, as you guys know,
Yeah.
time is your biggest enemy when you're trying to do all the things that you guys are doing, that I'm doing, that all the people that we probably know who are just doing much more than just a 9-to-5. Time's your biggest enemy. You only have 24 hours in a day, and so allocating it was tough. And I didn't allocate it to my wife. I didn't allocate it to my marriage. I sure as hell didn't allocate it to my family and friends.
Yeah.
I probably had a 3 or 4 year period where I had 0 friends. None. My wife would go out, and I'd be lucky enough to have a date. This was mainly, I realized this after I had stopped daily vlogging, and I was doing maybe like 4 or 5 videos a week, and I would have like a Friday night off or something, and she'd go out with her friends to like have drinks. She's like, "What are you gonna do tonight?" And I'd like literally go through my phone, and I'd be like, "Boy, I don't have a single person I could call right now."
Yeah.
No one. I had no friends. 0 for like 3 or 4 years. And like that sucked, and that was kind of the beginning of where I realized like how much longer can I realistically do this.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of started toning back the vlog a little bit. And
So was it worth it?
oh yeah, I would do it again.
Okay.
I don't know if I could do it again, but I would do it again because I learned so much. I would obviously only be where I am today.
Yeah.
But yeah, allocating that time was not easy. It was.
How is it now? You said you work at Koss, you have a radio show,
Yeah.
you're always on podcasts.
It's tough. I don't know how to say no to people. So I literally every podcast. So I mean, I can't tell you. I probably can check my DMs right now. There's probably 5 people that are like, "I'm starting a podcast. I'd love for you to be my first guest." Okay. Like every interview, every speaking engagement. Like I just did a speaking engagement at Alverno College for like a media class. It was only like, I don't know, 15 people. I mean, it wasn't a TEDx, but I do it anyways. And so I don't know how to say no to people, so that makes it difficult.
That is true.
Even now, I'm always pressed for time. My radio show, so I do a radio show on Tuesdays from like 11 to noon on 620 WTMJ, and they want me to start like doing a night show that I do periodically whenever I can, but they want me to do it like every night.
What do you talk about in your radio show?
Entertainment, a lot of tech, pop culture, no politics. I don't talk about that kind of stuff.
That's good stuff.
Yeah. And like I would love to do more of the radio stuff. I really enjoy being on the radio, but I don't have the time for it.
So out of all of this, you don't have your own podcast?
I don't know where I'd find the time. And here's the thing. I would love to have a podcast because everything, as hard as I've worked, all this stuff that I've yapped about so far, as hard as I've worked, I'm nothing without the people that supported me. I'm nothing without the guy who started his first podcast and wanted me to be a guest on. I'm nothing without everyone who shared my YouTube videos, that took the time to comment on it, to like it. I'm nothing without the people that decided to slide into my DMs and say, hey, you know, your photographs are a huge inspiration to me, your vlogs. I can't tell you how many times people came up to me or emailed me or DM'd me and said, I want to start a YouTube channel. I don't know how, I'm scared, I'm afraid what people are going to say. And so all those people that looked to me for inspiration, that supported me, that shared my content, that were there for me and had my back, even when I wanted to quit the vlog, when I wanted to quit all my shit, when I was depressed, working on cars, that's why I'm where I'm at today. That's far more substantial as far as contributing to me being where I am today, my success, than any amount of hours that I put in a day, you know. And so, circling back, the segue is yes, I would love to start a podcast only for the reason to invite those people on, or the young kids, the millennials now that were hustling like me, and bring them on and give them a platform to talk about themselves, showcase their work, and get their name out there so that I can give back. Because I've caught my carrot. I don't need to be on this podcast. I don't need to be. I was on TMJ4 the other day for like some inspiration piece. Wow, I already forgot that. It makes me sound like an asshole. I don't need those things right now. And so all I want to do is give back to people, and I appreciate all the opportunities that I'm getting now, but I'm always trying to find ways where I can give back to people, whether that's my connections through Koss and doing giveaways for like, I should have brought you guys headphones so you could do a giveaway. Doing whatever I can to be in someone's YouTube video and give back to people and help be a small part of giving them an opportunity that like I got when I was first starting out.
No, that's awesome. I'm glad you even said that, because I think that's something that gets lost in this entrepreneurship hustle that everybody faces. And it is, it's your family, and it's your friends, your day one people that were like, yeah, go do that, I will be right here, or I'll be propping you up, or I'll like every single one of your posts. And those, you don't ever hear about them, and it's nice that you brought it up and think about it.
I think a lot of people, and LinkedIn has been a huge problem with this, and I could talk about my beef with LinkedIn for at least 24 hours.
I'd be a little curious.
But anyways, one of my biggest issues with a lot of like the current generation and like the entrepreneurs, they want to start businesses, be photographers, or start a marketing firm, is I feel like a lot of them are just chasing hustle porn, and they want to create hustle porn, and they want to glorify the grind rather than embrace it for what it is. And I personally have an issue with that, and it frustrates me because I feel like it really devalues the hard work that I put in, and I feel like it devalues the hard work that people like you guys put in, and it just drives me.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That drives me fucking crazy. So I just came across this post on LinkedIn, or I came across it on Facebook, and this dude posted this long, like 2 or 3 paragraph story about how his employees, he doesn't get mad at his employees because if they come in late, or if they leave early, or if they have to take a day off because like they have family and they have issues. He never asks why they have to do it. He just lets them do it because employees.
Is this the story of like they asked me to work from home and I didn't ask why? Because
yes.
I paid for seat warmers.
Yes. Okay. So anyways, this dude literally copy and pasted this from someone else, and he got found out. This was on LinkedIn. He got found out by a bunch of people, and a bunch of people just rightly so were like, what do you do? Like, why would you quote this person? Why would you make something like this up? So he responded, and he replied on LinkedIn with this half-assed apology, and then went on to say that the people that were commenting on this, calling him out on it, were trolls, they were wrong, and they didn't get the bigger message, and all of his followers and stuff were commenting, supporting him, saying, well, what's the big deal? Like, it's not, and it like, that kind of shit pisses me off, because LinkedIn is this breeding ground for wannabe influencers who literally just steal other people's ideas and thesis on hustle, the grind, and entrepreneurship, and try and pawn it off as their own. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating for people like me who actually have lived it, have done it, have real valuable insight and information to give people. And the thing is it makes you not trust anything that you hear on the platform. You have no idea if that person really believes what they said. You have no idea if that's an actual true story. You have no idea if he just got off a plane and is jacked up over a Gary Vee podcast. You have no idea if these people are just fucking parrots and plagiarizing people, or if they're actually really legit. And I think that is something that's been interesting to watch kind of unfold with social media, because social media has drastically changed over the last 5 years.
I was just going to say, you've seen the same thing on Instagram though, between half the influencers that it wasn't real and they were raging up credit cards to fulfill the
100%.
stuff. That's why like those LinkedIn posts, like I knew exactly what
the thing that's special about LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is not the only social platform that's guilty of just completely obnoxious plagiarism. But the Instagram and like YouTube, you at least have to, in air quotes, create something.
Sure.
That being said, LinkedIn, the stakes are so low. It's the entry fee is so easy to just go cut, copy, and paste whatever quote or motivational thing you think is going to be frustrating when you see people cheat their way to the top. When guys like you are putting in the work, putting in the time. Experiencing the sacrifices, and then to just watch other people just bullshit their way through entrepreneurship and through personal branding. It's frustrating.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Oh, so more than a lot. That's an understatement. That's a euphemism that you just used.
So 10 years ago, 10 years ago, Martin Moore. Obviously, you started vlogging and stuff. And what would you do now if you were 10 years younger, trying to do the exact same thing? You're still a mechanic, trying to change. How would you change? Or what would you do in today's world to really get that value?
So if I was not, I just turned 39. If I was not 39 and I was 29, but we were in 2019, that sounds like some Inception stuff. What would I do? I would network. Networking has been absolutely vital. Collaborating, networking with people, getting feedback from people. We didn't have, Milwaukee 10 years ago just didn't have the networking scene. It didn't have the creative scene that it has today. This kind of stuff just didn't, it wasn't going on. People weren't having all these podcasts. There wasn't all these marketing firms and workspaces and hashtag MKE and all these things. So if I had those tools, definitely would have been utilizing that. More so than probably social media.
And more than vlogging and...
Oh, I still would have vlogged.
Don't you think that has lost some value in 2019?
Vlogging?
Versus 2008.
Yeah, versus 2008.
No, because I still think there's so many authentic people out there that will just completely mesmerize you. And I always look to Post Malone. I don't know if you're a Post Malone fan.
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
You look at this kid, and he's 23 years old, and he just came out of fucking nowhere. And you look at him and you listen to his music, and if you're a fan, you just don't understand how in 2019 someone else hasn't already done that.
Yeah.
It's like the heavens just dropped this dude on earth and gave you a voice and music and a persona and a brand that just, there's not even hints of him anywhere else. And so to answer your question, do you think, vlogging is it oversaturated on YouTube? Yes, but is there opportunity for authentic people in the same kind of fashion that Post Malone is on YouTube? 100%. And when we see it all the time. And so I think it's much more difficult that, there's a million other people trying to do the same thing as you. And I think that's where authenticity, personal branding really comes into play. You can't just go out there and just talk to your camera and expect that you're going to be some famous YouTuber. You have to have something to offer people, and that's your story. That's who you are. That's all the little idiosyncrasies that make up who you are, what you believe. That's the thing that's unique to you. And if you're fortunate and lucky enough to have a story and a personality that is interesting enough to people, you may be able to find some success on YouTube.
I mean, that's a good way to describe it. Authenticity is a big word, especially now in the world where fake news is such a real thing and people don't know what to believe.
No.
But people, especially on a vlog and anything where you are putting yourself out there, can tell when you're being authentic.
For sure.
And it really helps people.
And I was not, just for the record, I was not authentic when I first started my vlog. I watched a lot of Boyfriend vs. Girlfriend, Jesse Wellens, watched a lot of Casey Neistat, watched a lot of, who were some of the other vloggers that I used to watch? Chase Jarvis he wasn't really a vlogger, but he was the first person that I really looked up to, and I was like, well, I'm gonna start emulating this guy. He's a photographer out of Seattle. He did a lot of video work, and if you even look at a lot of my photography today, you can see a lot of my commercial inspiration in the work that he did.
I feel like that's normal. You start with some type of inspiration.
But at some point, you have to stop hiding who you. Because I was always afraid of the way I smile. I was always afraid of I have a really stupid laugh that I still try to hide, but I try to bring it out in my Instagram videos. A lot of the things I believed, I wasn't really sure if I believed them, and I didn't really know myself, and so how can I share what I don't know? And through my YouTube channel, I learned a lot about myself, and I slowly morphed from emulating some of my idols and kind of finding who I really was. And I think that's important, but I think there's a lot of people that don't have that epiphany. They don't have that moment in their creative or entrepreneurship career, and they just continue down the path of copying, like fucking Samsung. And it's just unless you do that, you're just going to be another person that's copying trends instead of setting them.
Sure. So let's bring this back all the way to your college days. How few they were.
5 months.
So we can literally count down to the day. Because this is something that we ask every person, and you obviously answered a little bit in your intro, and that is you regretted going to college because you dropped out. But let's talk about in today's world.
Yeah.
A kid graduating college, they maybe have some similar interest to you. Do you still recommend they don't go to college, or do you think there is some value in college that they could?
I think it depends on what you do. Obviously, if you're going to be a lawyer or a doctor or something that requires
a CPA.
a degree, yes, you have to go to college. That being said, I think there is value. Here's what I think. I think there's value in going to college. I also think college is bullshit. It's overpriced. Student debt is a major problem in this country, but I also think there's a lot of value. You may go to college and find out what you don't like, that you don't want to do something, but you also might find through college, through networking, through classes, find out what you want to do by finding out what you don't want to do. If that makes any kind of sense. And I think there's still this stigma out there that if you drop out of college, it's a dumb thing to do, you wasted your money. I have no problem with someone getting, let's be honest, when you're 18 years old and you're getting out of high school, no one knows what the fuck they want to do.
No.
I'm sorry. The world is so small, you have no clue all the little jobs that make up a career. Everyone thinks, oh, I'm going to be a firefighter or a postman, or I'm going to work in marketing, or I'm going to be a doctor. You don't realize all the little subgenres of every single job and career that there are until you've been out in the real world for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of people go into college thinking, I'm going to get a degree in a marketing degree. And it's like, well, what kind of marketing? You could be marketing for a headphone company or for a water company, or you could be marketing for a company that makes wallets,
Yeah.
And for me, I love marketing and shooting campaigns for a headphone company, but I don't want to do it for, a Chia Pet. So, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, I think college can be useful in figuring out what you want and what you don't want to do. And if you reach that point, there's nothing wrong with calling it quits, cutting your losses, dropping out. If you've been pursuing something else and you kind of taught yourself something else, or there's an internship that you could have gotten into. I mean, I wouldn't blindly just quit and be like, all right, I'm going to figure it out now. But if you have some kind of side hustle where you're learning how to edit videos on your own, or you're learning how to start your own podcast, or you started an Etsy store and you're like, all right, well, I'm making a little money on the side. I'd rather pursue this and lose my women's studies degree or my arts degree or
history degree.
Yeah, history degree. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I think blindly finishing a 4, 5, 6 year degree because your parents told you that's what you need to do, or your grandparents told you that's what you need to do, I think that's stupid, it's irresponsible, and I think it's wrong for anyone to tell you that you should if there's not going to be any end value in it for you.
But to your comment about like dropping out and how there's a stigma about it, I'd almost look better at somebody who went to college and dropped out because at least you tried it. You were like, hey, this is something that could be really nice and good for me, but I was like, I got there, I did a year, and I was like, you know what, I just wasn't doing well, and I switched over to this. And that shows to me that you're self-aware and you understand what's going on.
Here's the other thing that's where college is becoming a problem is there's so many degrees, bachelor's degrees that you would get, where people are going for 4 or 5 years in marketing or social media or graphic design or all these kind of like tech areas. By the time you finish that degree, the industry's already changed. The software you've learned and used, the ideas and theses you've learned in marketing have already changed. And so by the time you graduate, you're so fucking far behind where everyone else is that you start your new marketing job on day one, or your new social media job on day one, and people are looking at you like you're an idiot because you're talking about how you need to up your ad rev on fucking MySpace and Vine, and they're just like, what are you talking about, man? And so I think there's a lot of degrees that need to strip out the bullshit and compress it down into a 1 or 2 year program.
Sure, that's tough.
That's super tough. And then there's so many companies too that, a marketing degree, that require a marketing degree, but then they also require for an entry-level position 2 years of marketing experience.
Yeah, well, it's like, well, where the hell am I supposed to get that? It's like the whole credit card thing. You need credit to get a credit card, but I can't get a credit card without credit, and around and around you go.
It can be an entire debate.
Yeah,
that's the world that we live in today.
So education is very interesting, and we're seeing going back to what I brought up in the beginning with the smartphone, we're seeing so many people that are just saying, fuck it, I'm going to figure out how to do it myself, that are using their phones and using the tools and the powers of the internet and marketing or networking to create their own opportunities, whether they want to be a professional YouTuber or a gamer or start their own social media marketing company. You know, there's a lot of people that are just taking their lives and their careers in their own hands and doing something with it, like me, and creating an opportunity. And someone could have gotten a degree and taken my job at Koss, and I stole it from them without any degree, just teaching myself.
Right. So I think that is so much more valuable nowadays. Like, it's starting to switch more to people like you know, dropped out of college, knew it wasn't for you, versus someone who went to college, you know, because their parents told them. And they don't have the personality that it takes, or the grit.
Exactly. And some people don't, you know, and that's something to figure out and to find in yourself. I always say this. There's a reason why I'm not the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. I would love to be the quarterback. I love football. I love the Packers. I love to be the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers. I wasn't born in my blood. Like, it ain't me. Yeah. There's just some people, no matter how much you want to be influencer or own your own business or do whatever, some people you're just not made for it, and you have to be okay with that. I wasn't made to be a musician. I love music. I was devastated when I finally, these tattoos right here, this play symbol was always to remind me to play music, because I gave it up once, and it almost killed me, because I love music. Sure. And then I gave it up again because I realized I don't have the, you know, it's not for me. It's not going to be me. Yeah. Like, I'm not, for whatever reason, I'm failing at it, and it's not my forte.
And that's totally fine.
But photography and video was. And so, you know, you have to be okay accepting the fact that maybe you're not cut out to be a business owner. Maybe you aren't cut out to be a YouTuber.
It all comes down to being self-aware.
Yeah. Yes, self-awareness is major.
So major. And that's a huge thing too with dropping out. Just kind of going back to that for a second. Like, when you drop out, I think it's great to drop out if you have a plan like you.
Yes.
If you're dropping out to, like, sit in, I don't know, be addicted to whatever it is.
Vape?
Watching, you know, like,
vape all day and play Fortnite?
Right. That's a terrible idea to drop out to do that. You know, in your parents' basement. No knock on that. But if you don't have a plan, then give me the damn plan.
Yeah.
Or, like, go to YouTube Cat.
Yes,
learn
exactly. That caveat is absolutely vital for this conversation.
He's on it. He's our video guy.
Yes.
That's what I brought him for. But I think, like, and we've said this before, but, like, you and I are, like, I think the key of being, like, self-aware. Like, I'm self-aware to know that I didn't have the time to do video, nor the knowledge to do any video or editing. And I knew this guy over here who started a marketing company and had video and knew it, and I had a microphone and I knew how to edit. And I was like, we have a great pair, so why don't we do this together, right? And I think also having somebody else hold you more accountable to getting things done and getting something off the ground.
Because everybody needs that. Like, nobody's Superman. Like, and I wish I had someone to hold me accountable for stuff. And so it's like you guys said.
How did you?
I just made myself. I don't know.
So you are Superman.
No,
definitely
not. But you're right. You know, friends will hold you accountable. You always need someone to turn to when you have those days where you're just like, I don't know what to fucking do. This isn't working.
So you had those days.
Oh God, yeah. Jesus.
What was your mindset going? Were you just like, I should just fucking do it because I gotta do it, or you know, how did you?
I remember the first time that I was gonna quit the vlog. It's a horrible video. I was fried. I think.
What do people search to find it?
How to make a brandy old fashioned. So go on YouTube and put in Martin Moore and just put like I think how to make a brandy old fashioned.
Okay.
I'm probably making this up, but I feel like it was maybe vlog number 40 or 50.
Okay.
And it was raining out. I had a shitty day at work. I had not filmed anything in the morning or on my lunch break because it was raining out. And this was going to be the first time where I was like, holy shit, I'm not going to do it. It's pouring rain out. Like, I'm not going to make a vlog. And I was just like, I'm fucking done. Like, I don't want to do this. I'm so sick of fabricating stories every single day just to make a video, you know, just to say that I made a video every single day. And I was like sitting in my car and I was like, I'm just going to go home. And I was like, fuck, I'm going to make a video. So I went to, I think it's Swinging Door Exchange. And I talked to, apparently they had the best brandy old fashions in the city. Talked to the bartender, and he showed me exactly how they make it. And it was like a stupid little 3-minute video. And boom, I had another video. We were starting the next day. And so, what was the question? How do
you get through those days where you just don't want to keep doing it, or you want to stop, you want to quit, it's not working, you haven't seen the benefits from it yet, you feel like it's never going to happen? How do you get through those things?
I guess my answer to that is you have to embrace opportunity. I've always looked at my life, this is a horrible analogy, but like my life working on cars and everything that I didn't want to be is the Titanic sinking. And everything that I wanted to just be happy day to day creating, maybe get a job doing what I love as the shore. And then in between that ship sinking and the shore were all these little lifeboats, all these opportunities. And every lifeboat that I got into, every opportunity that I took, got me one step closer to the shore. And every one that I didn't get into, there was someone in the water treading for their life that would have gladly taken my place. And so it wasn't so much the fear of not doing something or saying I don't have the time or I'm exhausted. It was the fear of if I didn't make that video, if I didn't do that photo shoot, if I didn't go to this networking event, if I didn't meet with this company, someone else will. And that'll set me back. Someone else will get into that boat and they're gonna get to the shore first.
I like that metaphor. I didn't say anything because we're going to clip that later, so now we have it. But yeah, that's awesome. I mean, my thought when I have those days of like, I don't want to do this or I don't want to, because my other podcast is a bus podcast. I've been doing it for 2 years.
Nice.
I get nothing out of it. Like 80 people listen to it, but I do it because I love the bus and I love doing it.
I love that you brought that up. I really like that you brought that up, that you said 80 people listen to it. Because here's the crazy thing is we have a generation of young adults who think that if they don't have 1 million followers, if their YouTube video doesn't get 100,000 views, if my Instagram post doesn't get 10,000 likes, that they've somehow failed.
Sure.
Take 80 people and put them in this space right here.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking people.
It is.
I'm Milwaukee or Koss. One of those two companies found me on a video that had 54 views on YouTube.
Wow.
So here's the thing. Would you rather have a podcast that you made and 1 million people listen to it that don't really give a shit, or one person listened to it and it was the owner of some podcast company in Manhattan, New York that wanted to bring you in and pay for a space for you to have,
Right.
So that whole stigma that, that kids have and young adults have that, if I don't have all these views and followers and likes and all that shit, that means absolutely nothing.
Sure.
Nothing. Here's another example. So I shoot all of our Koss commercials on my iPhone. Mm-hmm. One, mainly because the camera's good, I like it, and it's easy to do. It's not as intrusive as my digital SLR or having a giant gimbal. And I started doing that last year, and I think Cult of Mac, who's like a huge Apple blog, ended up coming across my YouTube video that luckily my SEO was good on it. And it was like I filmed a commercial on an iPhone XS Max or whatever, but it only had, I don't know, a couple hundred views on it, and they found that video and they wrote a story on it.
That's cool.
YouTuber makes a commercial on an iPhone. Cult of Mac found it, then iClassify found it, then The Verge found it, and then it just started spreading like wildfire. Mm-hmm. On a video that didn't have 1 million views, on a video that didn't have 100,000 views, didn't even have 1,000 views, it had a couple hundred views, and I got all of this exposure from all these tech and Apple blogs off a video that got a couple hundred views, and someone who, I don't know, spent time using a whole bunch of other cameras and shit like that didn't. So views, likes, all that shit is completely irrelevant.
I completely agree. That's why they're taking it away. Instagram and Facebook,
Yeah,
they're taking
I
it
think
away.
they should. And that's not even getting into the whole psychological part of it. How depressed some people get. You know how many models get depressed because they're trying to keep up with all the other models, and they're not getting the likes and the followers. It's horrible. It's like pulling the slot machine. Sweet, I got my first 100 likes. I got my first 100 followers. Sweet, now I'm up to 1,000. Well, now I'm 10,000. It's never fucking ending.
Yeah.
And so you get rid of the like button, and you get rid of all that fucking stress that comes along with it. That anchor that keeps you up at night. Like, oh my God, I hope when I wake up in the morning, I went from 921 likes to 1,001. Like, who gives a shit? Really,
Well, then that's kind of where I was going with it. It was like when those things happen or something like that. It's you got to be doing it because you like it. And that's
Exactly.
like you were grinding your ass off because you enjoyed it.
Here's the thing about all that too: the likes and the followers and the views and all that too. You may think it's important, but companies like that I work for, there's no scenario where we get a cold DM or a cold email from some influencer on Instagram that says, "Hey, we'd love you to sponsor our podcast or sponsor my Instagram, my travel Instagram page. I'll wear your headphones, look at all my followers, and the first thing I don't go to do is see if you have paid followers or go through your comments and see if it's a bunch of people from fucking India fake commenting on your shit. Every brand and company knows if you're legit or not.
Yeah.
So
don't fake it.
We would rather have a DJ in the city that has 2,000 followers and gets 20, 30 comments on his posts, and then all the clubs he plays are filled, than some bullshit DJ somewhere else that has a fake 500,000 followers and a bunch of bots that comment on his stuff. And I'll find out within 5 seconds.
Yeah,
you know.
100%.
And so, again, I'm glad you brought that up because,
I gotta run.
Do it.
Sweet. So I have a couple questions. So
yes,
going away from that. So something that really intrigued me. 2008, you were editing this stuff, going way back to earlier.
Yeah.
What the hell were you editing about?
iMovie.
It was all iMovie?
All iMovie. And iMovie was, and it still is today, it's a really powerful tool. You know, for what I was doing, I wasn't making Star Wars. It was literally single clips. I was laying music underneath it, and I was doing a couple layers of text.
Yeah.
And that was it. And anything that graphically I needed to make, I would just do it in Photoshop, export it as a transparent PNG, and then just throw it over the video.
Right.
So most people, all they need is Movie Maker or Hit Film or iMovie. Like, you don't need to use Final Cut Pro like I use or Premiere. And that's all I use was iMovie.
That's crazy. And that's what you use now is Final Cut Pro.
I use Final Cut Pro.
Yeah.
I can cut a commercial in a quarter of the time in Final Cut Pro than I could on Premiere.
Really?
I hate Adobe Premiere.
Man, I use that a lot now, and I've actually heard that a couple times. I don't do anything crazy with it either. I'm just like making super easy B-rolls.
You should use Final Cut. One interesting thing that I learned when I was on TMJ4, they did like a news story on me. I got to like check out their newsroom stuff. Weird flex, I know. Like they all use Final Cut Pro. There's so many like TV studios that are using it again because Final Cut Pro was the program that like feature films or Final Cut 7 was what everyone used, and then Apple dumbed it down when they came out with Final Cut X. And everyone complained and started switching to Avid and Premiere, and now it's made a huge comeback because it's so powerful, it's so fast, it renders 4K in real time. You literally can export a 4K 10-minute video in 2 minutes, and you don't need like After Effects or Motion to create like simple graphics and stuff. You just do everything, and it's so efficient. It's so efficient.
Well, then what about other? I mean, do you ever use like let's just say Lightroom?
Yeah, so I added all my photos in Adobe Lightroom.
So you still do have those?
Yeah, Adobe Illustrator.
Okay.
I use those, but I don't use Premiere. I use.
Oh. No, I've heard that too. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I cannot recommend Final Cut Pro enough.
Okay, cool. I do want to ask some like end questions.
Yeah.
I want to kind of get your take on anything else that you wanted to bring to light after you chatted with us for a little bit.
Yeah.
Anything else that you kind of just want to like throw in there?
I'm getting nervous turning 40 next year. I'm getting really nervous. Like, I was thinking about it yesterday when I had to do my radio show. Like, they always say, you always hear from like adults and older, like our people that are older than us, aunts and uncles, you know, like as you get older, life like goes faster and faster and faster, and it's like, it really does, and I'm starting to get to the point where, like, I love my job, I'm happy with my job, I'm making a good living, I get to do what I love, I get to have fun doing podcasts and be in the news and all that stuff. I need to like start saying no and kind of enjoy going on a bike ride or taking a walk with my wife or enjoy being on a vacation and not recording myself the entire time, which I still do. And I literally, we went to Alaska in June. I filmed the entire trip to make a movie, like a 45-minute movie about it. And I've done nothing with the video.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever will.
Yeah.
I'm glad I have it. But all that time that I was yapping to the camera and recording video, I wasn't looking what was right in front of me. And so that's something that I've kind of been struggling with. And I think those are life sacrifices and life experiences you can kind of sacrifice early on. But as I get older and as I inch towards 40 and, you know, inevitably 50, I want to start being more present. I want to be off my phone. I don't go on social media on the weekends. I want to stop filming everything. I kind of want to have a nice balance between my hustle, my grind, my creating, which I love and completes me and is never going to go away, but also have a nice balance of just staying off the internet, enjoying life, Like every week I go to Blue at the Pfister Hotel, and I have drinks with a friend. Like it's like I do that. We put our phones down and I just hang out with my friend.
That's
no
amazing.
cameras. We don't take pictures. We just talk, and that's just something that I feel is lost. And it's so cool when you make a decision to like put your phone down and be like, I'm just gonna chill in the moment, just hang with this person, you know, and just no distractions. And so that's something that I'm trying to kind of embrace the older that I get. I don't know if I really recommend it for younger people who have all the time in the world, but for me as I get older and I've accomplished a lot of the things that I have, slowing it down and kind of just being in the moment and enjoying my accomplishments is something that I really want to do.
That is really cool. I mean, obviously you made that 45-minute video and a lot. It's good. Like that's,
oh no, I didn't make the 45-minute
Oh, you didn't make it?
No.
Oh.
That was the whole point. I recorded all this stuff the whole time.
Oh, you didn't make it?
Yeah, but I didn't make the video.
Well, that's all content you still have. I mean, that's something really cool to look at.
Exactly.
Show, feature.
And I will, because I always go back to my YouTube channel and watch like my videos and stuff. Because the one neat thing about having documented my whole life is that I can literally go on YouTube and at the click of a button relive the first time I ever met somebody. I recorded the first time I just met you. I have that on film. Some of the people that are my best friends in the whole world, I have the first time on film that we ever met. And so I get to relive those anytime that I want. I can go on YouTube. Well, what was I doing on October 9th in 2016? Oh, that's what I was doing. And that's a really cool thing to be able to say that you can do. Because do you remember what you were doing October 9th last year?
Oh,
no. And it's neat.
That's tough to find that balance though between your being present,
yes,
which is incredibly important,
yeah,
but then also like
documenting, because I do find value and I do enjoy reliving those experiences. Yeah. There's nights where I'll cash a bottle of wine and I'll literally just pick a week on my YouTube channel and I'll watch the videos and just kind of relive my life and my time with my friends, the vacation I went on, the photo shoot I did. And I really, really enjoy doing that. And so, yeah, like you said, it's tough finding the balance between document that, making that, but also being present.
That is, yeah. And for me, that's like a problem I run into too, because my job revolves around social media. I'm on social media all the time.
Yeah. So that's the last thing you want to do when you get done with work.
But a lot of the times, it is the last thing. A lot of the times it just transfers into, documenting it as well. Just like accident. It's like shit, I should be present here.
Yeah.
And you feel good when you let those things go.
Oh,
I think it was I think it was David Jeter. He used to, when anyone would come into his house, he had the people over, he would have a basket out, he's like, put
phones,
in there.
that's so dope. That's so dope.
That's what I want. Family events get together, throw that shit in there,
I should do
we're
that.
going to be present.
I'm really hoping, I really feel like, and I've talked about this on my radio show, I really feel like we're going to come full circle, and like I truly believe that like smartphones are going to become the new like laptop and iPad, and like watches are going to become the new phone. I really think we're a generation of kids away that are going to be sick of being on social media, and all they're going to want is a watch to get their calls, get their texts, get their notifications, and when they have time, they'll worry about it later. I think there's a lot of people that are, I'm hoping, that, are going to kind of get sick of being on these things 24/7.
Yeah.
Or not, or I could be totally wrong.
No, that's interesting though, because if you think about it, the evolution of just like the phone in general, the cell phone, it was so big, it was on purpose, you had to do that.
Yeah.
But then it got so small because they could.
Right.
And then
now it's
getting bigger and bigger.
Because it can.
Right. And now it's going to shrink back down again, who fucking knows?
Oh, right. I mean, just imagine what these watches are going to be able to do in
like sooner or later.
5 more years?
Just teleport. But
5 more years? I
Right
can't fathom what this thing is going to be able to do.
It's going to be crazy. That's all you really need.
What a time to be alive.
2009.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's cool. But I think I'm not normal with millennials. It's like it's a really big pet peeve of mine when I go out to dinner with friends, when I'm sitting around with friends, when that's the time that you want to be with friends. Like, I hate when they're sitting on their phones.
Yeah.
Like, and I get it, but I kind of don't.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it too, but I do try to consciously be aware of it, especially when I'm around my wife.
Yes.
There's nothing more than I hate than like, have you ever seen that photo? Or there's this photographer where he basically has people pose with their significant others, but without the phone.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's shocking.
It is, man. Like nighttime, they're sitting in the bed.
Yeah.
It's a great time when you kind of start the day.
Talking. No, but they're playing, Bejeweled and on Facebook and doing whatever it is they're doing.
Something else that was pretty cool. Like, so after I graduated college, however many years ago, I lived with my dad for 6 months.
Nice.
And something that they did was at dinner every single day, they did this thing where you talked about, you just went around the table, talked about the best thing or something good that happened in your day, and something that sucked.
Ooh, I like that.
It was really cool. It was just,
I'm gonna steal that.
it was awesome. You know, you're forced, but an awesome force.
Yeah.
To talk to our family about something, whether or not you were in a good mood, wanted to.
Yeah.
They were just pretty much like, just get off your phone. You know, enjoy yourself.
I like that.
Me too, man.
Smart parents.
No, it's cool, and like I said, I think I'm really unnormal, and maybe it's because of the field that I work in, where I'm on my phone so often, dealing with social media, but I don't want to.
You have a nice balance. You have a nice
I
balance.
try to, and it's tough.
And that's why you have this podcast, and you can spread the good word.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. I like that conversation a lot. Anything else before I ask these just kind of wrap up questions?
No.
So one that I like to ask pretty much everything, or everyone,
Yes.
is advice. I mean, we kind of went over this, but you can kind of go deeper into it. Advice you have for younger Martin Moore. Like, what would you tell your younger self? Maybe not even like 10 years ago, let's go 20 years ago. What the hell would you tell
Like
10-year-old Martin Moore?
advice?
Advice. Like, what, if you could write yourself a letter, what would it be?
You're gonna like octopus, raw octopus. You're gonna enjoy Sunday drives, and don't stop believing in yourself.
Okay.
I know that's cheesy,
That is
but
cheesy.
you have to be your biggest fan.
Okay.
You have to believe in yourself. Because here's the thing, no one, other than maybe your significant other and your parents, no one really gives a shit about you or me or anybody else. You know, they really don't. So you have to be there for yourself. You have to believe in yourself. And if anyone else wants to support you in what you do, awesome. But ultimately, in the end, you have to do what you're doing because it completes you. It's who you are. It's what you love, and it makes you happy no matter what anyone else thinks. Because you have to not give a shit what anyone else thinks, or that will just completely derail every dream and aspiration that you've ever had.
Hell yeah, I love that. That's actually something that I struggled with too. And Gary Vee was like someone that helped me get over that. So,
Nice.
you know what? I don't care. You know, I'm gonna quit my fucking job.
Yeah.
I don't care. Mom told me not
Yeah.
to. Whoever did, you know, it's like I'm still gonna do it.
Exactly.
And I think that ultimately it's been the best thing that worked out for me.
100%.
You know, like, I was in the same boat as you. I had a good. I mean, obviously, a lot less of a time frame, but I had a good job, paying too much probably.
Yeah.
But I quit it. I went full time on the thing that I love. You know, I'm in marketing now, and I love it as well.
Yeah.
And I went to school for finance. I had a finance degree, so it's like not anything at all that I was expecting to happen.
Yeah.
It was just funny the way it works out.
You just never know where everything is going to lead you. You
know.
really don't.
And there's no way for you to know.
No. And so you just kind of have to trust yourself, believe in yourself, do your thing. Don't pass up on opportunities.
Yes.
Unless, I mean, even some of the bad opportunities or the ones that I thought were going to be the biggest waste of time ended up being the catalyst for some of the biggest opportunities. The free photo shoot that I did, some company saw those photos and decided to hire me. And had I not done the free photo shoot, I never would have got the, $10,000 contract with the other company. And so, passing up on opportunities, I think, is not a good thing.
No, I fucking love it. And you said like something bad opportunities, quotes.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a true thing as a bad opportunity that comes your way like that, because I used to be terrible where someone would, ask for an opportunity like that, a meeting, whatever, and it's like, nah, I don't want to do that, I'll waste my time with that.
Yeah.
Quotes are gonna waste my time. And now, anytime anyone asks for a meeting, anytime anyone asks for a phone call, I don't give a shit who they are. I don't care if they're trying to sell me lending.
Never know.
I am taking every single call and just being as respectful as possible. And what I'm trying to do is help those people out, like as much as I personally can. Because
Yep.
I love
that.
paying it forward, man.
I love that.
Dude, and it's like, at the end of the day, if you help someone out, you give them something, quote unquote, waste your time with that, you are giving them something, and I don't think that is ever waste, another.
No,
waste
not
of
at
time.
all. Because you can't always be in it for yourself too.
No.
You have to put energy out there if you want energy back. So
That's so true. Like
I definitely stole that from God knows who. That is not. Don't quote me on that.
That's something that I have definitely learned.
I like
It's
that.
so much more about other. So I just read the book The Go. Have you ever heard of it?
I don't read books. The last book I read was The Chipmunk's Great Adventure in second grade.
So it's been a couple
Cover to
years.
cover.
No, I read a book recently. One of the quote was, "You have to be giving more value than you're receiving value."
Yeah, I like that. It's like the saying with love. You have to give more love, or give more love than you're getting.
Hell yeah, dude. Like you both have to feel that way.
Yes.
When you both feel that way,
Then you both feel love.
Seriously.
Everybody gets something. No, that's 100%.
no, I love that. Awesome. This has been great.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Thanks for coming. This
Yeah.
has been seriously
I feel bad I didn't bring like headphones. I'll bring a little gift, or I'll drop something off next time I'm downtown, which is like every day.
Yeah. Cool. So, if there's nothing else you want to say, tell people, plug yourself. Tell people
Yeah, you can find, if you just put Martin Moore in any social platform other than TikTok, because I don't have the time for it. You can find me. I would really appreciate you following me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm really active. Obviously, my YouTube channel, Facebook. I don't really care about. It'd be awesome to connect with people, and hopefully, people enjoy my content. And if there's anything any of the listeners ever need from me, whether it's advice or a meeting or something like that, slide in my DMs. I talk to everybody.
Love it. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for listening to episode 11 of the Casual Millennials podcast. You know where to find us by now. Just search up the Casual Millennials podcast anywhere. Until next time, have a good one.